What's up, Taiwan? I'm Eric Gao, bringing you the news from here in Taipei. President Lai Ching-te continued his series of unity talks over the weekend, emphasizing the people's role in protecting Taiwan's democracy. But the opposition parties accused him of trying to drum up support for the upcoming legislative recall votes. Irene Lin has this story.
The power of the people. That was the emphasis of President Lai Ching-te's weekend speeches to the nation and his own Democratic Progressive Party.
那今年2024年的青鸟行动，或者是2025年的大罢免行动，其实都是同样台湾社会珍贵的公民力量，目的是在维护国家秩序，阻止共产党并吞，守护国家。
Lai's mention of the mass recall movement has been a recurring theme in his recent public addresses. The president has planned 10 so-called unity speeches as partisan divide continues to grow due to an unprecedented lawmaker recall movement. So far, at least 24 lawmakers from the opposition Kuomintang are set to face a recall vote in July. In his latest speech, Lai accuses the opposition, which controls the legislature, of violating the Constitution.
当然，咱拢知影，国内政局上界大挑战的所在，有那是立法院啦。 过半数的在野联盟，不只是开会无照议事规则，通过法律违反宪法，更加大大煽动冻结中央政府总预算，影响政府的运作，国家的进步。
The smaller opposition Taiwan People's Party, which has partnered with the KMT on multiple reform bills, says Lai's support for lawmaker recalls has been clear in his unity talks.
过去承诺给台湾人民要推动的改革法案，最后竟然都是在野党我们携手合作把它推动完成的。那至于大罢免，从头到尾本来就是民进党发动的。柯建铭已经讲得很露骨了，我想赖清德总统终于也不再扭捏作态。
The KMT has also reacted to Lai's unity speech, calling on its supporters to vote no on the recalls.
他一再的说，没有人可以主导大罢免。我想要呼吁所有在前面观看直播的好朋友，我们才真的需要用更大的民意，在7月26号那一天，用具体的行动出来投下不同意罢免的这个票。我们一定要一起告诉赖清德总统，什么才是真正更大的民意。
With both the ruling and opposition parties gearing up for the recall votes on July 26, the remaining 7 unity speeches will be a true test of Lai's ability to de-escalate the worsening political divide. Joseph Wu and Irene Lin for TaiwanPlus.
Taiwan and the United Kingdom have signed a landmark trade deal. The 3-pillar agreement includes strengthening digital trade, energy cooperation, and investment opportunities. It was signed by the UK's representative at the British office Taipei and by Taiwan's representative to the UK. British Trade Minister Douglas Alexander attended the signing. Alexander also met with President Lai Ching-te at the presidential office. Meanwhile, Taiwan and the U.S. have wrapped up a second round of in-person tariff negotiations in Washington, D.C. Vice Premier Zheng Lijun and Chief Trade Negotiator Yang Zhenni represented Taiwan at the 2-day talks, meeting with U.S. Trade Representative Jameson Greer and Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick. The cabinet praised the progress of discussions, saying the two sides reached consensus on a number of economic and trade issues. Taiwan faces U.S. tariffs of 32% on most of its goods, but economists here in Taiwan say the country should be able to negotiate that number down to between 15 and 25%. U.S. President Donald Trump says he won't extend his pause on global tariffs, which is set to expire on July 9th.
But we're going to be sending letters out starting pretty soon. No, we don't have to meet. We understand. We have all the numbers. Listen, what we're going to do is we're going to send, and we're going to say, congratulations, we're allowing you to shop in the United States of America. You're going to pay a 25% tariff or a 35% or 50% or 10%.
Last week, the White House spokesperson hinted that the deadline could be extended. But in an interview with Fox News Channel's Sunday Morning Futures, Trump said he does not think that he will need to do so. U.S. trade officials say deals with key partners are almost done, with others expected to be complete by early September. The Taipei District Court has sentenced a Taiwanese Diaobolo coach convicted of spying for China to over a decade in prison. Liu Jixian pleaded guilty to accepting some $195,000 US from China. He used that money to lure Taiwanese military personnel and other nationals into a spy ring, supposedly tasked with leaking military secrets to Chinese organizations in Taiwan. 9 of Liu's accomplices have also been found guilty. Hong Kong's last major pro-democracy party is disbanding. The group cited heavy political pressure in the city, where democracy movements have been stifled by national security laws. Tiffany Wong reports.
零化非灰，
零化非灰，
不作浮塵，
不作浮塵，
沒有抗爭，
沒有抗爭，
哪有改變？
哪有改變？
A farewell for Hong Kong's last active major pro-democracy party. The chair of the League of Social Democrats announces the end of a key symbol of Hong Kong's democracy movement, the latest to be shuttered due to China's increasing control of the city.
Struggling forward through hardships for the last few years, we have now reached the end of the road. The path ahead is fraught with difficulties. As an organization, the League of Social Democrats must bow out from the stage of Hong Kong's social movement history.
The League is the third major opposition party to shut down in Hong Kong in the past 2 years. Pro-democracy activity in the city has been stifled since a national security law was imposed by Beijing in 2020 after large-scale anti-government protests. Those rules were expanded last year, spurring fears for the safety of party members. The League of Social Democrats was founded by Chan's husband, former lawmaker Leung Kwok-hung, in 2006. The party was known for its radical pro-democracy views and aggressive tactics. Last year, Leung was sentenced to almost 7 years in prison as part of a trial of 47 pro-democracy advocates under national security law charges. As the party officially disbands, the prospect of democracy in Hong Kong dims. Scott Huang and Tiffany Wong for TaiwanPlus.
Thailand has once more criminalized cannabis. Shops can now only sell to customers with a prescription, a major blow to a huge industry. Isabel Wong reports.
In Thailand, streets lined with cannabis shops have become a familiar sight after the country became the first in Asia to decriminalize the drug 3 years ago. Tourists flocked to the country as cannabis became easily accessible for recreational use. But that's all changed. The government has added cannabis back onto the list of prescribed narcotics, making it illegal to use without prescription for medical use. This shift is expected to impact nearly 20,000 licensed cannabis shops.
Some provinces with heavy stigma is pretty much using this as a crackdown, while some other provinces, realizing that they have way too many shops within their area and don't know what to do with the overwhelmed work that is about to come out, are also saying to the shop owners, like, to calm down, we're not changing the rules yet. So there's a lot of confusion that's going on. Owners are freaking out. A lot of them are scared.
A lot of shops are now closes. Yeah, but now we change the plan. Maybe open to clinics.
So what does the law change entail? Cannabis is now for medical use only. No recreational use is allowed. Sales will be limited to a 30-day supply. Violators may face up to a year in prison and a $600 fine. But some customers think there will be ways to get around the restrictions.
Now they want to solve the problem by just putting in the license. In the end, it's just the same, right? I can ask someone that I know if he or she may be a doctor. I can get a license for what? I don't know how many baht I have to pay, right? So the problem still exists.
But why is Thailand doing this? The government says legalized cannabis has caused social problems, with increased use among young people, addiction, and complaints about foreigners using it in public. Cannabis advocates like Kitty say they are working on finding ways to raise public awareness in favor of it, increasing acceptance and understanding to keep the plant legal. Devin Tsai and Isabel Wang for TaiwanPlus.
On one of Taiwan's outlying islands, the land crab breeding season is in full swing. Locals have been working together to help the crabs reach their seaside breeding grounds safely. A team from TaiwanPlus visited the island to learn more.
Xiaoliuqiu, a small island off the southwestern coast of Taiwan, is known for its abundant sea turtles, clear waters, and vibrant coral reefs. But when night falls in the summer, the island comes alive in a different way, with some interesting creatures crawling into view.
来，这只母的，哦，哎，对啊，这个叫入色啊，这个还算中的啊，来。哦，好快哦！
The tiny island is just 6.8 square kilometers, but is home to about 20 species of land crabs, with the most numerous being the purple land crab. Their breeding season starts with the rainy season. From June to October, during the last quarter of the moon, female crabs head to the shore to release their eggs, sometimes even from coral rocks. A crab expert says these creatures help connect life on land and in the sea.
它其实最主要的食物其实是植物的枯枝落叶，它是能够那个分解纤维素的，所以它基本上它确实是有扮演分解者的角色，所以在有陆蟹生存的生态体系，它的物质循环是非常快的，但是有陆蟹存在，养分循环会加快，那就会让这个生态体系是生产力非常高生产力的一个生态体系。
But their nighttime journey to and from the seaside is fraught with danger.
超过1万只的后代就这样没了。
Since May, local volunteers have been raising awareness about crabs on the roads at night.
会有螃蟹，要慢慢
放。今天怎么这么多啊？画到我的粉笔都快没了。
These volunteers patrol the island's ring road and share their passion for land crabs with visitors.
他只有在小时候住在海里，然后长大就到陆地上来了。
是哦，那他知道路吗？
哦，当然知道啊。
我只是说小 baby 哎。
当然知道啊。
他长大知道路上去。
通常会跟着水走。
哦。
Part of the volunteers' efforts is counting how many crabs get hit on the road. In June alone, over 800 crabs were killed.
它这个都有抱卵的呢。
During the crab breeding season, Wang Tianzheng, a native of Xiaoliuqiu, spends 1 to 2 hours every morning conducting roadkill surveys around the island.
对螃蟹非常有感情啊！看到它们被压死的时候，我就会想说，它很可能，我能够用我什么样的方法可以帮助它？那另外一种心情的话是开心的，因为Xiaoliuqiu呢岛上呢还有这么多的陆蟹资源可以让你压死。
Volunteers spread the word by putting up signs and handing out crab stickers to local shops. This year, a crab corridor was built to help land crabs across the road safely. The locals hope to take it a step further by closing one section of the road to protect the crabs, and they've received support from the government.
我们真的就是需要把Xiaoliuqiu现存的好的栖地环境，我想。 不只是陆蟹的栖地环境啊，就是各种海洋生物的栖地环境都把它保育下来，各种生物都活得很好。我想Xiaoliuqiu的观光发展未来才会更好。
Protecting land crabs isn't just about saving one species. It's about preserving a key component of the local ecosystem and creating a better environment for everyone. Peachy Zhuang and Sanny Chi for TaiwanPlus.
Thanks for tuning in for What's Up Taiwan. Head over to our website to see more of our news reports and other programs. Finally, check out the National Tram Driver Championships held in Warsaw. I'm Eric Gao. Take care. See you next time.
I'm Tiffany Wong in Georgetown, Penang, and you're watching TaiwanPlus.